Hana-Cockpit. You want that cockpit, and remember these things. It traces. Which trace you need to activate? When it comes to DBA perspective, database trace intended for DBA. Yes, you can activate this one. Expensive statement trace. Yes, you can activate this. SQL trace you can activate as a DBA. You are a DBA, right? You're admin here. So these traces are belongs to yours. And plant trace. This kernel profile, other traces you won't activate. So these things only intended for your database administration. These traces. Remember these things. Did anyone remember this one?
Sir.
So at the time of architecture, we discussed all these things, right? And to do administration of any database, that database will have a specific tool to do the administration. The same way, HANA also have two administrative tools. One is HANA Studio, which we already discussed, which is not developed by SAP. Actually, it is a Java Eclipse based tool. They modified that tool. Directly this tool will connect to your index server. It will use SQL port to connect with your database. And SAP has developed a web-based administrative tool. That tool is called as Cockpit. Now SAP is saying from HANA 2.0 SPS 05 we are not going to support HANA Studio, but still they are supporting HANA Studio. Why? Means the people are habituated with HANA Studio than Cockpit. This Cockpit is a web-based tool. This HANA Studio is a normal software. If you install Hana-Cockpit, it will generate two URLs. You can log in by using that URLs from anywhere, even from your mobile also. You can log into your HANA database and you can do the administrative tasks. Generally, when they introduced Cockpit, they introduced it just for monitoring purpose. Cockpit is only for monitoring of your HANA database, not for administrative tasks. But slowly they added a few things which are related to administration. Now it is completely support for your monitoring and administrative tasks, Cockpit. In this Cockpit also we are having two flavors. One is Cockpit 1.0, second one is Cockpit 2.0. What is Cockpit 1.0 means? If you go with your HANA Studio, you can start your Hana-Cockpit from your HANA Studio also. Open SAP Hana-Cockpit. So it will take you to Hana-Cockpit screen. So it is asking for authorizations and password. But this HANA 1.0 is what? It is not supported for, wait, I'll try otherwise. Cockpit underscore admin. So this Cockpit 1.0 is for HANA database 1.0. When HANA Cockpit started, the cockpit is specific to the database. If you are having 5 databases, you should have 5 cockpits. But now, when it comes to HANA 2.0, cockpit is a centralized tool. By using one cockpit, you can add all the databases to that cockpit, and you can do the administration of all the databases what are present in your landscape. So if you have Cockpit 1.0, the thing is, okay, I'm having 3 databases, A11, B11, C11. So you should have 3 things here, A11, A11, B11 and C11. So I should install Cockpit for this. By default you used to get that Cockpit. At the time of installation only you are going to install this Cockpit. So here also different Cockpit, here also different Cockpit. So if you want to do the administration of A11, you should log in into this Cockpit. By HANA Studio, right click, say Cockpit, it will show you only A11 database. If you want to do administration, B11 database. If you are having some 50 HANA databases, you should have 50 cockpits separately installed. But now the things are changed. Even though you are having multiple databases, you can have a single centralized cockpit. Just install cockpit here. Okay. Then you add this A11, B11, C11 here. By logging into here, you can do the administration of all these things. You can do administration of A11, B11 and C11. So it is a centralized tool now. So you need not to install a cockpit for each and every database. And remember, this cockpit you can install on the top of existing HANA database, or else take a individual host on the top of that. You can just install Hana-Cockpit. When you do Hana-Cockpit installation, you will get some system DB. You will get system DB will be installed. All your name server, preprocessor, compile server, web dispatcher, access engine, these will come. Along with that, you will get a few more additional services, access advanced related. So for this cockpit web-based tool, you sorry, you need this access advanced engine there. So some new services, access services, new services will be activated, that will be installed. So you can, for example, you are having A11 database, you are having A11 database. Now you are installing A11 database and a B11 database and C11 database. Now you start installing cockpit. It will ask you, I'm having three databases, can I install on A11, can I install on B11, can I install on C11, or else I can install independently. It will ask you. That means you can install this cockpit on already existing database, or else you can install cockpit separately. When you install separately, you will get system DB there. So what are the services we will be having in system DB? You know, name server, preprocessor, all that things. Plus you will get access related, access advanced, access you. I'll show you that all services. That 3 to 4 services you will get. These are related to your cockpit. Is it fine? It is a browser based tool. After installation, it will give you two URLs. By using that URLs, you can open a browser and you log in into the browser and you add these systems and tenants, everything there, and you can do the centralized monitoring by using cockpit. Here you remember a few things. So when you are installing, by default it will have an SID. You give at the time of installation of any database, you give SID, right? But for this cockpit, by default it will take one SID called H4C. Important interview question. What is the SID? H4C. By default this SID will come. If you are having H4C means the cockpit is installed. And every database will have instance number, right? Instance number. That number is 96 by default. So HANA, if you install Hana-Cockpit, that will have SID as H4C and instance number as 96. And at the time of database installation, you will get a few users like SID ADM user, system user. Here also you will get that users. Along with that, you will get cockpit underscore admin user. Important interview questions, these three. Which user it will create? System user, SID ADM and cockpit underscore admin user. What is the instance name for your cockpit? 96. What is the default SID for cockpit? H4C. I'll show you that. So I already installed cockpit. So after installation, I got these things. Or else we can do the installation of cockpit also. I'll show you the cockpit installation otherwise. Okay. To do cockpit installation, you have to download cockpit from your service marketplace. How you know how to go with service marketplace and how to download cockpit. So you just navigate to that A to Z. There you go to see there HANA platform. Okay, otherwise I'll show you. How to download Cockpit?
Safety support portal, softwares, and updates.
So there you'll have download softwares. After installation of Cockpit, my system is crawling actually. Software downloads. Under HANA database only you'll get this Cockpit. To Z. Go to H. HANA database. HANA platform edition. Now platform edition 2. Under this you'll get the Cockpit. See all the softwares. Hana-Cockpit 2.0. What is for Linux? And this is our Linux. This is Linux power systems is for IBM power systems are there. For Linux, regular Linux, this one. Hana-Cockpit 16. Current right now version is running. Hana-Cockpit 16. Just download this .sar file and uncar this file. Then go to your paste that file into your Linux system. There you will have Cockpit software. I placed it in my home directory. See, this is my Cockpit. Same installation. Go to CD Cockpit. Under the Cockpit, you will be having see HDB server Linux. For installation of the database, you go to this, right? But for Cockpit, use this one, HDB LCM Lifecycle Management Tool. Go with this one, not server under. For HANA database installation, use that one, HDB server Linux, right? But for Cockpit, use this one, HDB Lifecycle Management. This one. Go to that. From there, the installation will be same. You'll be having HDB LCM there. See HDB LCM, HDB LCM GUI, HDB / HDB LCM. So now it will ask you. See, already one cockpit is installed. H4C cockpit is installed. It is asking update SAP Hana-Cockpit version 2.0 space 16. Already we have installed the advanced one only. You do one thing. You install 15th one, then you do the update. Or else I can install cockpit on this. I want to update this, or B11 is my existing database. On the top of this existing database, can I add this? Otherwise, install a new SAP HANA cockpit system. So go with the 3. Install a new HANA cockpit system. So choose what you
Individual.
want to install. Choose what you want to install. So I say 1. No, it's not talking. It is not installing. Why? See, it is saying one error. File signature.smf cannot be found in the SAP HANA database installation kit. So when you download any software, along with that software, signature.sms file will be there. So this file has to be there. If it is not there, it won't allow you to install. This is a digital signature actually coming from SAP. So to avoid this, what we need to do, we need to do something. What is that? Just after HDB LCM, say ignore dot slash HDB LCM hyphen hyphen ignore is equal to check underscore signature underscore file. If you pass this statement there after HDB LCM, then it will ignore this signature.sms file and it will continue the installation. Remember this hyphen hyphen ignore is equal to check underscore signature underscore file. Okay, go here and go with new session. What is my IP? By root only install with the root. Cockpit you should install with the root user. Under that cockpit, so cd this HDB LCM, this one, right? Use this one. Minimize this and there you will be having HDB LCM, right? Dot slash HDB LCM space hyphen hyphen ignore is equal to, what is that?
Check.
Signature check.
Yeah, check
Check
underscore signature underscore file.
underscore signature underscore file.
File.
Is this fine? Do I need to check one more time? Hyphen hyphen ignore is equal to check underscore signature underscore file. Yes. Hyphen ignore is equal to check underscore signature underscore file. Okay. Execute. Now see. Now it will ask. Third one. Install a new SAP HANA cockpit system. Okay. See where it is asking HANA shared installation path. Hostname Linux. SID. See, by default it is taking SID as H4C. H4C is already in use by SAP HANA database instance. So give other one. Okay.
Can give
So I'll show you that installation. Okay, what is I'll store that installation tomorrow.